24 hours after one of the most painful defeats in recent memory, Wrexham's social media team pressed send. And just like that, the racecourse faithful went from disappointed to absolutely furious. Alright Wrexham fans, if you love the Red Dragons like I do, smash that subscribe button right now, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the most bizarre social media disasters this club has ever had. Let's dive straight in. Here's what happened. On Tuesday night, Wrexham AFC fell to a devastating 2-1 defeat against Cardiff City at the racecourse ground in the Cardiff Cup last 16. Not just any defeat, a performance so lackluster, so devoid of the passion we've come to expect from our boys, that fans were booing at halftime. Booing at the racecourse. That's how bad it was. Cardiff City, our Welsh rivals from the south, a team we hadn't faced in 21 years, came to our home and dominated us. They deserved the win. No question. It was gutting. It was embarrassing. And for the first time in years, it felt like the magic might be wearing off. But if you thought that was the worst of it, you'd be wrong. Because less than 24 hours later, Wrexham's official X account posted a promotional video for Ancestry DNA featuring Aaron James and Matty James having their DNA tested to highlight competitive traits. The timing, absolutely catastrophic. The reaction from fans, brutal, savage, and completely justified. This isn't just about one poorly timed social media post. This is about a club that's lost touch with its supporters at the worst possible moment. This is about a fan base that's watched their team blow a historic chance to reach a cup quarterfinal for the first time since 1978, only to be sold DNA tests the next morning. This is about what happens when commercial priorities clash with football reality. And trust me, it gets worse. To understand why this has caused such fury, we need to go back to Tuesday night. The racecourse ground was buzzing. This was the first meeting between Wrexham and Cardiff in over 2 decades. Welsh derby, Cardiff Cup, the chance to reach the quarterfinals for the first time in nearly 50 years. The anticipation was massive, but from the first whistle, something felt off. Phil Parkinson made 9 changes to the side. 9. Now, look, the gaffer's got a hectic schedule to manage. League One promotion race, cup competitions, player fitness, we all understand that. But when you've got a chance to reach a cup quarterfinal for the first time since 1978, you'd expect the strongest possible 11. Instead, we got a team that looked disjointed, confused, and frankly, not up for the fight. Cardiff took the lead through Yusuf Salek in the 13th minute. Wrexham responded just after halftime with Kiefer Moore, our big summer signing, our talisman, heading home to make it 1-1. The racecourse erupted. We believed. For about 20 minutes, we actually believed we could do this. Then William Fish scored for Cardiff with less than 20 minutes to go. And that was that. Game over. Dreams crushed. The Bluebirds celebrated like they'd won the cup itself. And honestly, they had every right to. They wanted it more than we did on the night. The fans were furious. Not just disappointed, furious. Booing at halftime. Frustrated groans echoing around the racecourse. This was supposed to be our moment. This was supposed to be another chapter in the incredible Hollywood story. Instead, it felt like a betrayal of everything we'd built over the past 3 years. After the match, Phil Parkinson fronted up. Credit to the gaffer. He always does. He said, "We've had lots of praise over the years and we'll take the criticism, myself included, for going out the cup tonight. We made a lot of changes and I'm sure everybody will be analyzing that, like myself. But I did it for the reasons I thought were the right ones with the schedule we've got coming up." Fair enough. Here's the manager. He's earned the right to make those decisions after delivering 3 promotions in 3 years. But here's the thing. Fans don't care about squad rotation when you've just blown a historic opportunity. They don't care about the bigger picture when Cardiff Bloody City are celebrating on your own pitch. They care about pride. They care about passion. They care about giving everything for the shed. And then, to make matters infinitely worse, Cardiff got drawn at home to Chelsea in the quarterfinals. Chelsea, Premier League giants. A glamour tie at Cardiff City Stadium while Wrexham nurses their wounds. Insult. Injury. Absolute agony. So Wednesday morning rolls around. The town's still reeling. Social media is still buzzing with frustration. Fans are still processing one of the most disappointing nights in recent memory. The wound is fresh, raw, painful, And that's when Wrexham's media team decided to post the Ancestry DNA promo. Picture this. You're a Wrexham fan. You've just watched your team get knocked out of the cup by your Welsh rivals. You've barely slept. You're still fuming about the team selection, the performance, the missed opportunity. You open X to see what other fans are saying. Maybe find some solidarity in the shared disappointment. And there it is. A promotional video. Aaron James and Matty James, two players who featured in that dismal performance, smiling for the camera, spitting into tubes, getting their DNA tested to discover their competitive traits for sponsor Ancestry. Competitive traits. Let that sink in for a moment. Less than 24 hours after a performance that showed absolutely zero competitive spirit, zero fight, zero desire. The club is promoting a DNA test that measures competitiveness. You couldn't write it. Honestly, you couldn't script a more tone-deaf, insensitive, Politime piece of content if you tried. It's almost impressive in how spectacularly it misses the mark. The reaction was immediate, and it was savage. Read the Room appeared in reply after reply. Absolute joke, said another. Who signed off on this? Demanded a third. Our competitive traits went missing last night, one fan wrote with biting sarcasm. Another simply posted, delete this. Now, the criticism wasn't just about the timing, though that was bad enough. It was about what it represented. Here's a club that spent the last 3 years building an incredible connection with its fan base. A club that's been held up as the perfect example of community-focused football, of owners who genuinely care, of a media presence that understands the culture. And in one single post, all of that goodwill felt threatened. Because what that video said to fans was this: we care more about fulfilling sponsorship obligations than acknowledging your pain. We care more about commercial deals than reading the emotional temperature of our own supporters. We care more about ticking boxes than being human. Now, to be fair, these promotional commitments are scheduled weeks in advance. The media team probably had a content calendar locked in, and Ancestry, a legitimate sponsor of the club, deserves their contractual deliverables. I get all that. But here's the thing about being a football club in the social media age. You have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to say, actually, now's not the time for this. Let's hold it back a few days. Let's wait until the wounds aren't quite so fresh. Because timing in football isn't just everything. It's the only thing that matters when it comes to how fans perceive you. Post that exact same video 3 days later, after a decent League One result, after emotions have settled, and nobody bats an eyelid. Post it less than 24 hours after a humiliating cup exit. You've got a PR disaster on your hands. What makes this even more painful is that Wrexham's social media presence has been one of the club's greatest strengths. The behind-the-scenes content, the player access, the authentic storytelling, it's been brilliant. It's part of what's made Welcome to Wrexham such a global phenomenon. It's part of why this club has millions of fans around the world who've never even been to North Wales. But this wasn't brilliant. This was a catastrophic failure to understand the moment. And the fans, rightly, let them know it. The backlash didn't stop at angry comments. It spread like wildfire across social media platforms. Wrexham fan accounts, football podcasts, even national media outlets picked up on the story. Wrexham's Ancestry DNA promo sparks fan backlash became a headline. That's not the kind of attention any club wants, especially not one that's built its modern identity on positive storytelling and authentic fan engagement. What's interesting is that the criticism wasn't coming from trolls or rival fans looking to stir trouble. This was coming from genuine, loyal Wrexham supporters. People who've backed the club through the darkest days in the National League. People who've celebrated every promotion, every Hollywood moment, every documentary episode. These are the hardcore faithful, and they were genuinely hurt by what they saw as a betrayal of trust. One fan summed it up perfectly. We don't ask for much. Just acknowledge when we're hurting. Just show you understand what last night meant to us. That video showed you don't have a clue. Another wrote, 3 years of building goodwill, and you can lose it in one post. Whoever approved this needs to have a long, hard look at themselves. The irony wasn't lost on anyone either. Here's Cardiff City, celebrating a famous victory and a dream quarter-final tie against Chelsea at home. Massive payday. Global exposure. A chance for their fans to see Premier League superstars at Cardiff City Stadium. Meanwhile, Wrexham's out of the cup, licking their wounds and promoting DNA tests. Even neutrals noticed. Football Twitter, never shy about piling on when a club makes a mistake, had a field day. Wrexham finding out the Hollywood way doesn't always whack. One account posted, "Read the room" became the phrase of the day, repeated hundreds of times in quote tweets and replies. As of now, the club hasn't responded directly to the backlash. The post remains up on their X account, stubbornly defiant in its obliviousness. No apology, no acknowledgement of the poor timing, just radio silence, which in some ways makes it even worse. Phil Parkinson, to his credit, has continued to focus on the football side. He's preparing the team for their next League One fixture, trying to move forward from the Cardiff disappointment. But the media storm around this promo has only added to the pressure he's already facing after the team selection controversy. The players themselves have stayed quiet. Aaron James and Matty James, the two featured in the video, haven't commented publicly. One can only imagine how awkward it must be for them, caught in the middle of a PR disaster they had no control over. So what does this mean for Wrexham moving forward? Well, in the immediate term, it's a black eye on what's been an otherwise remarkably positive few years. The club's reputation for understanding its fan base, for being authentic and community-focused, has taken a hit. Not a fatal one, but a hit nonetheless. Long term, this is a lesson in the perils of commercialization. Wrexham's Hollywood ownership has brought incredible benefits: global reach, financial investment, documentary exposure, world-class facilities. But it's also brought increased commercial obligations, more sponsors, more content requirements, more pressure to deliver promotional material regardless of what's happening on the pitch. That's the double-edged sword of success. When you're in the National League, nobody cares if you post a sponsor video after a bad loss. But when you're in League One, with millions of fans worldwide in a Disney Plus documentary series, every move is scrutinized. Every decision is analyzed. Every misstep is amplified. This is also a reminder that football fans are emotional creatures. We don't operate on logic and reason. We operate on passion and pride. We don't care about content calendars or contractual obligations. We care about how the club makes us feel. And right now, a lot of Wrexham fans feel like they've been taken for granted. The good news: this is fixable. One Politime social media post doesn't undo 3 years of incredible work. Reynolds and McElhenney have shown time and time again that they genuinely care about this club and its community. The media team has produced countless pieces of brilliant content. Phil Parkinson has delivered 3 promotions in 3 years. But going forward, there needs to be more awareness, more sensitivity, more understanding that in football, timing is everything. The fans aren't asking for perfection, they are asking for empathy. They are asking for the club to acknowledge when things hurt. They are asking to be seen and heard. At the end of the day, this is what being a Wrexham fan is all about. The highs, the lows, the drama, and the hope. We've been through worse than one bad result in one Politime social media post. We've survived administration, relegation, and years of despair in the lower leagues. This club has been built on resilience, on community, on the unbreakable bond between the town and the team. One mistake doesn't define us, but how we respond to it will. And I have faith that Wrexham will learn from this, move forward, and come back stronger. Because that's what we do. That's who we are. So what do you think? Was the club wrong to post that video? Or are fans overreacting? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're backing Wrexham no matter what, through the good times and the rough patches, hit that like button and subscribe. Come on, you Reds!